Well, once again, welcome back to D-Bomb's Garage. It's early morning. I got the ambulance all put back together. I located the power steering leak. It's at the gearbox. Customers coming out later this afternoon. Take it for a test drive. He knows the vibration that it was having. We'll see if that rebuild on the drive shaft takes care of that vibration. Hopefully that is done. And this morning, just picking up some tools, putting stuff away. Got to jockey the Red Ranger over to the lift so I can find out what's going on with the fuel pump. I'm gonna try to get that done, hopefully today. The other thing I'm gonna try to get done today is get the fuel line hooked up in the Model A. I gotta straighten my tool bench up and get all this fabbed in. I added a riser for in the fuel tank, so it'll be above any type of sediment that's in it floating around. It shouldn't pick it all up. I got to make a short line for it. Yeah. Hopefully I get that done today. Maybe if everything goes according to plan, I'll get back on the 05, get the nipples out of the fuel lines at the gas tank, get those changed, and then finish putting this back together. But I got jockeying to do right now. I gotta get the case out of the shop. Still gotta put some tools away, put some of these parts away that are scattered all over the place. Again, it's just going to be a cluster of getting sidetracked on everything I'm trying to accomplish today. Today is the 18th, Friday. So I guess I'm just going to have to get at it. So putting stuff away, jockeying stuff around, it's kind of boring. Just stuff you've seen before. It is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick you over to, well, I'm just going to sign out for right now and then come back in a little bit after I get some of the stuff done. Well, I got the Ranger moved, got it over on the lift, and I put the fuel filter in it, and they said that the fuel pump had stopped. So I came in the relay box, the jump lead. I was able to actuate the fuel pump. When you turned on the key, you could hear all the relays click and do their thing, but it still wouldn't get fuel. So with the jump lead, I could get fuel, but it was too much for it to fire up. I tried to fire up a couple times, but so I decided to jump to a different relay, swap out the relays, and it fired up. So it ended up being, I'm going to say it ends up being a bad relay. I've got it on a lift right now running. I've had it running for almost 15 minutes. No dying issue. I'm gonna take it for a test drive here in a little bit. Hopefully that is all that was wrong with it. Just a few electrical tests and it's back up and running after, let's see, last date it was played was 2011. Now we're at 2024, so 13 years it's been parked. So it's up and running now. Hopefully with the test drive I don't find any other issues with it, and that'll be another one out the door. And I think I'm going to put the tires back on the GMC and get it over on the lift so I have better access at the fuel lines. That's a real pain in the butt to try to do them underneath the truck. It'd be easier up in the air for me, where I can sit down and have easier access at it. So I'm going to let this run on the lift for probably another 20 minutes, 30 minutes. See what transpires on it. And hopefully that'll be it. And I can get this thing out of here. Open up the bay again, fish. I'm still thinking about moving the GMC over to the rack. I'm going to make the fuel line for Model A. Hopefully this is going to work. I just got to figure out how what type of sealant to use for fuel sealant on those. Put that together, and I think I'll get that done. Air up the tire on the Camaro, get the Camaro out, and probably pull Model A out and tell my brother he can come pick that up. Well, that's a possibility. 2 vehicles out of the garage maybe today. Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3. If I get the GMC on the lift, tear into that, get that all changed out, finish hooking everything up on it, and maybe that'll be done, and I might put that thing up for sale. Then I'll get the Jeep back in and probably play with that one for a little bit. See if I can't get that thing done. So as of right now, that's where I'm sitting at. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, battery's back in the Trailblazer. Customer come out, test drove his ambulance. Everything's good to go. No more vibration. Probably next year I'll change the power steering gearbox on it. Ranger, I got to run down and get a fuel pump relay. Get that all changed. I pulled the GMC out, turned it around, got it up on the lift so I could drop what was left of the fuel lines. Oh, come on. Let go. There we go. As you can see, this line is junk. The other line up there, same thing, rotted out. The truck itself is pretty rough, but hopefully it'll be all right. I just want to get it up and running and see if I can't get it up for sale. All right, now I brought my pick to clean out the clip here. Got to clean it out so I can get this line out. This is the return line. The line that's still up there is the feed line. There's some more line. So, with that, throw you back up on the tripod, see if we can't get this line cleaned out a little bit. Rusted in there pretty dang good. What a pain in the butt. All that. Well, that clip goes first. That's the keeper. That's a seal. Got the rubber seal, another hard seal, another rubber seal. Those things just would not let loose. But it's out. Guess I'm gonna have to run and get another one of those. I still got another one to get out of there. As you can tell, that's a pain in the butt to do. So for right now, I'm gonna kick you back to, take a break here. And I'll be back in a little bit. Well, got the fuel lines changed. That was a booger, but I got them changed. Repaired the two transmission lines, so that's done. I guess I'm just moving right along. Next, I'll put the plugs in, take the plugs out, put the other plugs in, put the wires on, connect the coil on this side, tighten up the exhaust. I'll get the exhaust pipe up over here. I'll change these plugs and get the coil pack up in there, and that'll be done. I'll put the belt on and lower radiator shroud up in there, and if I get the exhaust on that side, get the plugs and wires put on, get the other coil in, I think I might be able to fire it up. We'll see if it fires up, see if I wired it in right. But for right now, I'm kind of hungry. I just looked at the time, 2 o'clock. So for now, I am going to get something to eat, and I'll be back after a little bit. So, all right, I'm out. Well, another day. I got the Plug wire's all in. Everything's wired up here that I can recall. Plugs are changed. Put the airbox in there. I am going to, for poops and giggles, see what she does real quick here. See if I did anything right. It runs. That's a plus. Oh, I don't see any leaks. Got to fix the exhaust. I'll take this back off and hook up the rest of this. Well, I did something right. It fired up. It is running. So, been sitting for a while, so the exhaust is definitely it runs. I was starting to get scared. So guess I'll have to finish, put the belt on, put the fan on. I think the upper radiator, yeah. Put that on, and I'll put the hoses on. See if I can't quiet this thing down a little bit. So they cut the catalytic converter and all that out of it, so I don't know what else I got to do, what bends I got to try to make. I got to put the inner fenders back in, and the skid plates can wait for right now. That's not a necessity. So with that, I guess and I don't see any fuel leak. Nope, no fuel leak. So I think I got that taken care of, and with that, I think I'll go ahead and start putting the rest of this back together. You've seen it a dozen times. I'm not going to bore you with all of that. But once I get it all put back together, we'll see if it moves. You can't see it, but I'm doing kind of a happy dance behind you. So, all right, we'll be back in a little bit. Well, almost done. Playing with the exhaust right now. I'm not a fabricator, that's for damn sure. Passenger side now, I got a cobble job going on here. As I said, I'm not very good at fabricating stuff. I can tell you how to do it, but I'm not good at doing it. But the truck does run. One thing I did notice, I think the water pump is leaking. I'll check that tomorrow after I finish the exhaust up. Then I forgot to grab seal for the Model A, but that's all right. Not a big issue. Nothing I'm gonna sweat about. Oh, I'm hungry. I haven't really eaten all day. So with that, I'm going inside. I'm calling it a day. That's it for now. Cobble job exhaust, yeah, but it's getting done. So I got gas for the Model A. I'll work on that tomorrow after I get done with the 05. So for now, I'm out. Later all, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks for checking the channel out. Later all. Well, this morning I finished cobbling up the exhaust on this 05. I do mean cobbled. It's easier for me to tell somebody how to do it, explain how to do it, but when it comes down to me doing it, I just don't have the patience to do that. I filled up the windshield washer bottle and it's leaking. So it's all back together. It's on the ground. It did move. I did have to put some transmission fluid in it. Topped off the radiator. Now I'm gonna see what it does going around the yard. That's it. It runs and it moves. I'll check the idler pulley out later. That won't take too much to change that. I got the original one that was on it right here. So with that, the truck is done. A couple things, the skid plate there, the skid plate over there, and the hood to put back on. We'll probably check out the windshield washer tank, change it. I'll pull this top cover back off real quick. Pull this off. Get it out the way. Change that one idler pulley. Let's see if that takes care of the noise. If it doesn't, then the power steering pump is could be the culprit, but a lot of noise is coming from the alternator. So just a process of elimination. I think I've got another alternator like that I could swap out. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't see anything there. I think I got one right. Nope, that's S10. Well, okay. That's it. I'm done. Again, truck is almost completely done. I'm not going to do much else to it. Got it. It was supposed to be fuel lines. Ended up having a bad motor in it. Replaced the motor. The one I had in the shop, it's running, it's moving. I'm happy, I'm done. So with that, thanks for checking the channel out. Hit the subscribe, post a comment. With that, I'm out. Later all. Once again, welcome back to D-Bomb's Garage. Today is the 21st October. Farmer got his corn hauled in the other day. Cleared the field. I'm gonna try to get the Ranger delivered today. Almost finished up on the 05 GMC. I did find that the water pump is leaking and the overflow, or not overflow, but the washer bottle is also leaking. I just gotta save up enough money to get that stuff changed out. The other day I ran into town, picked up what I needed for the Model A, I think. I grabbed this. It does say it's, oh, come on, focus, gas resistant, so I can put the valve in, the fuel valve, and hopefully this works. I made a little nipple to go above the bottom of the tank so any sediment doesn't pick up in there, hopefully. So that'll be the next project on that. I got to make one small line because it's being redone again. That, I think this was the original line. This will be my new line. I'll have to flare the ends. So maybe I can get this out of here today. Maybe tomorrow. Yes, I'll play with the Model A for right now. See if I can't screw this up any more than I already have. work. That'll work. I don't need that anymore. Well, for right now, since I really don't have a tubing bender that I can find, I'm just going to make a couple nipples and run a rubber line. Do a flare on one end. And I have to redo it. Yeah. No biggie. No biggie. That feels like it's gonna work. Might have to shorten it a little bit, but it feels like it's gonna work. It'll work. I swore I locked that. Took me for a ride. Yeehaw! I'm at to figure out how to check that gear oil on the different and the transmission. It sounds kind of rough. But she's up and running and moving. That's a plus. I'll pull it in a little bit later and see if we can't slide underneath it, check the gear oil real quick. So, Model A took me for a ride around the yard twice. Seems to be doing okay. As I said, I'd probably load that up and take it out to my brother. Let him figure out where to store it. Ugh, cold coffee. So, with that, I'm done. I'm out. Later on. Well, once again, welcome back to D-Bomb's Garage. As usual, my luck sucks. Had to pull the front back down water pump that was leaking. The fan clutch was ganky. So I went ahead and put a new water pump on it, fan clutch in it, thermostat in it. Which I thought the growl was, I have a growl coming through when it's running. I thought it was the clutch fan because that one was, the old one was loose. But got it all back together and I still have the growl. Vibration when it's running, I can feel through the alternator. So I'm thinking it might just be the alternator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all back out, pull the alternator off. I've got a smaller alternator. This is this could be a 140, 145, 140, 160, 260, 245 amp. I'm not sure. I wandered around the shop a little bit and I found a smaller alternator, which I'm going to try it real quick. As I said, I got to pull all this back down. Not that I want to, but I have to. And a power steering pump whines also, even though it's full. So I guess I'm gonna tear into this. Let's see what type of damage I can do. Well, once again, welcome back to D-Bomb's Garage. Yesterday I did some jockeying around in the shop. I got the Camaro up on the frame machine, get it out of the way. I'm not going to be driving it during the winter, so it's out of the way. I delivered the Model A to my brother. He seems happy with it. I still have a bunch of cleaning to do before snow flies. I got the 95 Cherokee back in the shop. I'm getting ready to put the motor back in it and get that out of the way. I still have my nephew's 55 Buick. This was the 05 GMC. I put a motor in. Seems to run real good now. The exhaust is a cobbled mess, but only thing that I find that would be nice to make different would be get the bigger alternator, because I don't think this one's putting out, but it's not putting out enough amperage. How you doing? It's not putting out enough amps. Needs to be cleaned. I got the interior kind of cleaned up in it. Mileage is showing 79,000. Engine has probably got 130,000, 140,000. Let's see what it says here. got good heat. And mileage is showing 76,365. Carries good oil pressure. Alternator shows it's working. The only light that's going to be on is the check engine light, and that's going to be because there's no catalytic converters on this thing. That's how I got it. I just took it for a rip down the road. Seems to be all right. So I'm going to prep it for sale. See if I can't sell it. Get some of my parts money back out of it. I'm tinkering on the Bobcat. Gonna make a bull slide so I can put a removable hitching ball, trailer ball on it, so I can change it from that receiver to pedal hook to inch and 7/8 ball, or 2 5/16 ball, so I can move stuff around. So not a whole lot kicking right now. I haven't decided what to get up on the rack. My brother has a Chrysler something, I can't remember what it is. That's having issues on the rear suspension. I think I'm gonna call him and see if we can bring that out here and we can see what's wrong with that, so he don't kill himself with that stupid car. Other than that, gonna put some more tools away and see what transpires. With that, I have no other projects kicking right now. I might have one coming in other than the Jeep. We gotta order another motor mount. They sent me 2 of the same side. So I get that ordered, and hopefully that comes in the next couple days, and I can get back on the Jeep. So with that, I'm out. Later all.